Hey, what's happening? Before we jump into the show, I wanted to see if you had any music on a hard drive. You have a band, you have a project, and you want to self-release your own music. Well, there's an easy way to do it. You can go to distrokid.com/VIP/hyphenate and go get your music up on all the streamers. You keep 100% of your royalties, and you can get 30% off by using this code. It's a great, easy way to get your music up on the streamers and share it with your fans, your friends, your family, your mom, your dog, everybody. Everyone wants to hear it. But go to distrokid.com/VIP/hyphenate, HYPHENATE, and send me the link. I want to hear it too. Send your mom the link. Send your dog the link. They all want to hear it too. Izotope is a proud sponsor of today's episode. Do you know about their new RX12? This is the way to make your audio flawless, all-in-one audio restoration. RX's 50-plus tool ecosystem is everything you need to rescue, refine, and enhance every project, blending surgical control with rapid results. Fully flexible, RX12 includes a standalone audio editing application and suite of software plugins to use in digital audio workstations. For decades, RX has pushed what's possible in audio editing and restoration, bringing out magic in every scene, song, and story. Powered by pioneering machine learning tech, it's the supporting star behind countless Oscar, Grammys, Emmys, and the winner of a Technical Academy Award. Go get this for yourself. Izotope RX12. It's out. IZOTPE.com. For 60 years, Heel Sound has provided innovative, professional, quality sound for stage, studio, broadcast, and podcast. Grammy-winning artists and sound engineers worldwide trust Heel microphones for their legendary sound. To find out more about the full line of Heel microphones and products, visit heelsound.com. That's HEILSOUND.com. I'm using a Heel PR40 microphone right now. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Hyphenate Halftime. This is our show for Monday, July 13th, 2026. Joining me, as always, is the one and only Mr. Aaron Farley. How you doing today, Aaron Farley?
Happy summer, everybody.
Happy summer.
Happy summer, everybody.
It's in full swing.
It's rolling through. It is.
No summer joke. Be summerin'.
Summer be summerin'. We're like a month in, right? From school.
Oh, yeah.
Like 4 weeks, maybe, or something. I don't know. My brain is like dead. How are you?
You're out. I'm good. Yeah. No, this is a real deal summer break. The kids have gone to all the camps, and now we've run out of camps for them to go to. And my wife sent a funny meme. It was like, if you're not finishing a work call while trying to eat like a granola bar while dropping off a kid or picking a kid up and then having an existential crisis about how am I ever going to pay the bills? Like, are you even really in summer break? It's like, yes, this is our reality.
I am curious.
As parents in 2026.
I am. You've heard about the conspiracy about the CERN Hadron Collider?
Oh yeah, definitely. 2012.
Like that we're like kind of going in and out of wormholes, kind of like it's different realities as they turn that thing on and they turn it off and all that. I do feel like when we're all struggling to meet, like this is middle class struggles. We're talking about middle class struggles here, right? that you're like, well, I'm doing all the stuff. Like we have jobs where we're not living lavishly. We would like to go maybe on a road trip here and there. And you're going, but how? I don't realize, I don't know how everything, it doesn't seem like things got so expensive that it just is like out of this world. But I do feel like even when we were younger, when our parents didn't make that much money, and it was like most of the time it was like a single income or maybe 1.5 incomes. It wasn't.
I'd like to blame that on some kind of sci-fi reality shifting event. However, I think there may be a much more boring, greedy, and depressing late stage capitalism.
No. I understand.
Just,
completely.
Yeah.
completely. But it doesn't. What I'm
But
saying
it's
is
fun.
that
But it's fun to think
doesn't
about
seem
the
like
sci-fi monster coming out of a black hole and eating our reality. Does sound more fun.
yes. What I'm saying is that it doesn't seem like it's changed enough for everybody that I know to be going, how is this? Where? Like you just talk to everyone, and they're like, I don't. It's this is confusing because it doesn't see like it kind of not that it came out of nowhere, but a little bit, since
Yeah.
COVID or whatever. But even before that, and you just go, uh, yeah,
Life is
where the
just hard
energy
enough.
and the kids and
Just past.
whew,
We're just past
yeah,
the area of the pool where our feet could touch. You know what I mean? We're like,
yeah,
okay, I'm
I
still
guess
good, still
so.
good. Now everybody's like, I'm just, yeah. It was like
Yeah,
yeah. I was my $5 rule, and maybe this is just inflation, but there was just things that were
yeah,
$5 or under. And
right,
all of those, like a
right,
jar of peanut butter or just, things, again, maybe, very middle class sort of problems. But you just sort of could imagine this was all the stuff that's going to be under $5. And then, it was definitely somewhere
yeah,
in the pandemic where like $8 for a jar of peanut butter. Like, that's
yeah,
crazy. Like, it just doesn't seem right.
and you
Like, I'm
go,
not going to buy that. Like, sounds like someone's trying to rip me off. There's no way that cost $8. And now here we are
right,
6 years later. I'm like, ooh, it's only $8. Okay, cool. This is a good price.
yeah, I know. Well, and I was saying, like, I just went on this. I went on a big teachers conference thing, on a
Oh,
PLC
yeah.
conference. It's very fun and
PLC.
it was actually fun. PLC, what's up?
What does PLC stand for?
A professional learning community.
Ooh,
So,
I like that.
so it's not managerial. I don't know. It was good. What I told Michelle was that I am surprised that I enjoyed it. In the sense
That's the
where
best kind
I'm
of
like,
surprise.
I'm gonna be I'm gonna be a teacher. I'm gonna be an art teacher. I'm gonna just get in there and do this, and it's gonna be cool, and I'm gonna be able to do art and blah blah blah. And then you get in there and you go, oh, there's all this other stuff. There's like
Hmm.
people, and there's meetings, and there's meetings about meetings, and then there's meetings about people, and then there's meetings about the district, and it's like real. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, this is like work stuff. I forgot about the job part of it, like, and so a couple years in, as I'm like settling down a little bit more from freaking out just about putting together lessons and cutting paper and having like going,
Yeah.
oh, I forgot to order colored pencils and we ran out. It's like literally like just very day-to-day worries of like every day as a stress case of like, what am I going to do with this kid? And this parent is calling me and I forgot to call them back. And, as I've
Yeah.
gotten more used to all that stuff, stepping back a little bit and like talking to other people and going, oh, there's other issues, there's other school issues. And how do you deal with that? So I was asked, by some like administrators like, hey, do you want to go to this conference? I'm like, sure. Yeah, sure. I don't know. Why do you want me to go? And they're like, oh, we think it'd be good. We think it'd be good. And I'm like, okay, yeah, totally. And I'm getting better at just kind of saying yes and going, like at
They're
the very
jumping you
least I
into the
should
gang.
learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like learning about this thing that is more than just being an art teacher, like being a, and they're like, oh, also, you want to head the department? And I'm like, I didn't even know I was in a department. I didn't know I was in a department. I thought I was kind
What's
of
a
on my
department?
own. They were like, well,
Who's
you kind of are. Here's what your department is. And so I'm like,
Are there other art
yes,
teachers?
I
Are you the
guess.
only one?
No, but it's a department
Uh,
of, there's four other classes that are, it's like
I see.
part of the music and,
Okay.
a couple other
Great.
classes. So I was like, oh, sure. I guess there we go. I'm
Your
part of
department
the,
chair.
I'm that
Hell yeah.
too. And I'm like, well, I didn't see this coming 2 years ago. And so then with this conference, even I'm like kind of looking up, cause we do these meetings and it has to do, it's a PLC based, like how we're organized, which I learned this weekend what that means, or this week. And, but going on that tour or that conference, and you're like, oh, this is this is a real thing. I'm learning these things, and I'm sitting in on these, hour and a half long lectures that you sign up for, and like, oh, I want to go talk. I want to go listen to this person who wrote a book about classroom management, or all these other things, and then coming out from the day and going, huh, I kind of like this. That's weird.
They got you.
I would have made fun of this 3 years ago. Yeah, but like, but it is those things of going like, oh, I would have been like, oh man, that's so lame. Like blah blah blah, middle management. Da, 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 da. You know how we are, Randy.
Sure. Oh yeah. Talk shit, ask questions later.
Yeah.
Like just
and then,
first instinct is just talk shit about everything. Yeah.
Yeah, you get in there, and I'm like wearing a button up and taking notes with 200 other people, and
pretty
like
good.
Talking to another principal from North Carolina about how we can change how we can get some people on our side to fix some classroom management issues, and the other side of my brain is sitting there knocking on the other side of my brain, going, "Hey, buddy, we still here? What are we doing?
What's going on?
What are we doing?
What's happening?
We need to go out. We need to go out and find. We're going to go out and find a show after this. We're going to go see some local artists. What are we doing, buddy?" And I'm like, "Hey, shh. I'm trying to figure out how to
quiet down.
How to better manage my classroom in a month, and then I'm going to start running some PLC style meetings." And
I'm working here. Weird. I got shit to do.
Growing up is weird, man. Growing up is weird.
Love that scene in Old School where Will Ferrell goes to the frat party. And they're like, "Hey man, do you want to have this beer bong?" It's like, "No, I got a big day tomorrow, going to Bed Bath and Beyond, and if we got extra time, I forget what he says, but it was very middle, very very much normal concerns, but like kids,
And then the next
remember
scene,
watching that as a kid and be like, "I'm never going to be like that."
Yeah.
Hank the Tank
Totally.
and takes the beer bong, like,
totally.
it tickles when it touches your lips, and then he's shrieking down the street.
Well, and so the other part of that story was to get to, like, later on afterwards, we're going out for dinner to get, and we're getting a drink, and I go to order a drink, and I'm like, well, I'll have a beer. I'm not going to get cocktails, because a cocktail now is anywhere is at least $15, but probably 17, right?
Wow.
$17.
What's a beer though? I mean, a beer is not cheap.
Well,
either.
so then I'm like, well, I'll get a beer, and I'm like, $12 for a 12-ounce beer.
This is a Coors Light.
12. It literally. So I'm looking. I'm like, well, they got to have like Miller Lite or something. It's got to be like $7 or something. Like, nope. The Miller Lite is $11, and we're not even at like, you expect that if you're paying, like, if you've agreed to pay like $80 for a restaurant, like, we're sitting down at a nice place. I know the beer is also going to be double price, and you've okayed that. With
a glass of Coca-Cola is $10.
Is $6. Yeah. Totally, it's like airport prices where you've agreed to that. But this is like a normal place. Like, the food was actually, it's like a sandwich is $15, but it was a sit down place, so it was reasonable. But you're like, whoa, wait, a beer is however much it was, $12, $11. And I just went like, that's that's the thing when you go like, well, am I not? I really would like to just have a beer and relax right now. Is it worth the extra $4? I'm like, I guess. And then once you go, that happens enough times, you go, well, I guess beers are just $11 now. I don't know. And then you do that with milk, and you do that with hummus, and you do that with eggs, and you do that with gas, and you do that with all the things where you're like, well, what am I going to stop doing? Driving my car? I can't do that.
Yeah.
And insurance.
Well, I remember being on tour.
No, go for it.
Oh, no, we're going to say?
Well, I was going to just say that even with insurance, that I didn't realize our homeowner's insurance, since we've lived in our place for 5 years, has gone up $500 a month. Oh. And I was like, I looked at our old bill, and I was like, wait, how much does that say our insurance used to be? I'm like, they've slowly raised it $100 a year, and you just kind of like, it kind of goes up and down here and there, and I'm like, wait, we're paying so much more for our. What is happening? Where are we? Why is this happening? Get me out of here.
We're
This
fucked.
sucks.
I was going to say, being on tour, I remember, being in places like the UK, and it's like, and the exchange rate for the dollar to the pound, or, or you're in Japan and it's like 100 to 1, kind of, go to the 100 yen store. It's like the dollar store. And it's just like, you have no idea. It's all just funny money at some point. You're looking at this thing like, I think this is 12,000 yen for this, whatever this thing is. And I'm like, I think that's good. Is that $12? Yeah. Maybe that's
right.
Maybe that's okay. I don't know. I can't tell anymore. Your brain eventually does just give up. And you're like, okay, I guess just take the money. This is what I want to have.
Yeah, you just kind of go like, well, it's either this or I guess I could just sit at my house, but that's no fun. So going out and
yeah. Well, I would do the alcoholic math, like when you were saying like the price of like a cocktail at a bar at a place of a thing. And I had the kind of brain that would say, yeah, but I could just buy like the cocktails, whatever, $18 out at a bar or restaurant or something. I was like, but I could just buy a whole bottle of that liquor straight for $30 and just drink it at home. Like, why would I spend, 5 times as much to drink it in public with people? I don't even like people. I don't even want to be this dumb bar. I'd rather just be home, just drinking straight out of the bottle. And I don't even want all the sugar and the chasers or the mixers. I just would rather, and then you quickly find yourself, drinking bad coffee and smoking cigarettes with other people that think the way you do. You go, oh, it was me. I was the problem, not the world. It was my problem. Fuck. Okay.
It's not our problem, Randy. We're great. We're perfect. But this is why we used to wear backpacks to the bar, and we would bring in. We knew which bottles of like what type of Budweiser was at the other bar at each bar, and so you'd go like, well, we'll get this one has Tall Boys, so we bring Tall Boys to Star Shoes. And so then you just take your bag into the bathroom and you'd open your beer in there and they caught onto the backpack thing really quick. But it was a couple good months of bringing beers in and
Spaceland had Killian's Irish Red. I always remember that. Like, I don't know if that beer ever existed anywhere outside of Spaceland. I always remember that, the Killian's Irish Red.
Yeah, you get your 6-packs for each bar, and you got to get in and out work some way.
Speaking of bars, we had Gail Butensky, photographer extraordinaire, on the pod last week, and she has a lot of pictures of a lot of bands and a lot of bars. Had you seen Gail's feed before? I forget. Did you send it to me?
I think think that it came up on my feed like a couple months ago, and you had been just going like, "Hey, if you see anybody, like, pass them my way or whatever." And so I sent you that, and you're like, "Oh my God, wait! I know Gail. I met her before. Yeah. Like, she's amazing. Yes, this would be perfect." But
you didn't know that I knew her, right? You just sent it because you saw it. But yeah, right.
Yeah, it just popped up on. I'm looking at the post right now, and I think it was like a photo of the Articles of Faith or something that, and it popped up, and I was like, "Oh, this looks cool." And then I started going through her stuff, and I was like, "Wait, this is insane." What is this? Right? Why haven't I heard? I've like seen some of the photos,
but undiscovered DIY underground masterpiece photos, and some of them you've seen, right? Like like some of those Pavement ones, some of the Steve Albini ones. But there's a million.
But also,
ones.
It's not like she was trying to stay secret and like, oh, I'm just taking pictures and going. Like her photos were being used for Big Black records and press shot, like Pavement press shots and stuff. So it wasn't like it's just one of those. I think what was so great about the interview was that it all came down to her just loving music.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to try to be the biggest photographer and I'm going to take this and which is what we all did. It was like, well, you're doing that. And then you go like, you meet someone who's a creative director, an art director, and they're like, hey, you're a photographer. Can you come take pictures of this new project I'm working on? Or we want some rock photos for this new brand we're due for Nike or for whatever. And then you start transitioning into kind of corporate work,
commercial work.
And, but her stuff is just so like it's not even fly on the wall, because it really is like she's there. Like it's almost like it's like this person was in every single band that is being photographed. Like it's so personal that
like it's so relaxed. Some
like,
of the Stephen Malcolmus photos, he's just smiling and just like, it's like you were, like not only, you're right, the fly in the wall is kind of candid, like they're making a stern face or something, but here, like they're looking at the camera and smiling, like they're your friends, because she was their friends. And
like this person,
wow,
yeah, like she's just a part of the crew, which is amazing.
Yep, exactly.
And
which I think is what it was. It sounded like,
and it really creates this sense that not only is she shooting photos, but the people want her there as a part of, like, she's a part of the team. Like if this is, she's a part of, like, it doesn't seem like she's capturing something that she's looking in from the outside, which seems like, oh yeah, well, they're your friends, but it's such a hard thing to do. It's so hard to put all of your worries aside and just be there in the moment and trying to capture a photo, especially when you love the music and you love the band, because there's a certain part where you go, but I also just want to watch the band. Like I don't want to stare.
Right. Well, that's what she was saying
Yeah. And I felt that so much when she was like, oh, I remember going to this one show that ended up being a legendary show and I have no photos. And she's like, I don't think I took pictures, or I didn't bring my camera. And I have so many stories. I mean, I've told the Elliott Smith story a million times, which is that exactly. I was like sitting there with my camera and going, I don't want to just put my camera in everybody's face. Like, I'm like, I somehow got invited to this thing and all these people are super nice and I'm loving the conversations. And I love hearing like Stephen Malcolmus and Elliott Smith talking to each other. And like Sean Crogan brought me there to shoot his band. But there's all these people and I'm looking around going, I'm like some snot-nosed kid with a camera. I'm like, hey, can I take your picture? And like, so I didn't take any pictures because I wasn't like she was, like, a friend of everybody going, oh my God, this is great. My friends are talking, and it's, so it's so cool. It's so cool because it's really hard to get these types of photos that seem relaxed, and they're not. The best thing is they're not perfect.
Right.
Like so many times you
in
look
a good
at
way,
photos,
in a fun way, where you're just like, oh yeah, that really happened. It wasn't posed.
Like a lot of the photos look attainable. Like if you're a photographer starting out, you kind of go like, oh, I might be able to do that. Like it looks so relaxed and fun. It just looks like friends hanging out, that it doesn't look like, oh my God, I could never get that shot. Like that person's jumping 10 feet up in the air over the crowd. And where were they even holding the camera? It just looks like something that you could never do. And these just look like, oh my God, that looks like the funnest time ever. It's like someone who's on tour. Like I can guarantee that her photos have made multiple people want to go on tour or to become a photographer.
Yeah, right?
And like even friends seeing her photos and going like, even looking at Big Black reading newspapers in some
I know.
crummy kitchen makes you go like, well, I want to be there. I want to walk in. It literally looks like when you walk into a door and 3 people look up at you and go, what's up?
Yep.
Huh? I love it. I love it. And then the one I'm just looking, it's just like Ginger eating. And I'm like, wait,
God,
is that
Ginger Baker?
Yeah. Like, that's Ginger Baker. Why does she have a photo of Ginger Baker eating? Because
she was there.
I know.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And Ginger Baker, like, famously hates everybody. Like, how did she even get that photo? Like, he's famously just mean to everybody.
That's it.
Yeah, it's great. And it made me just scrolling through and just going, oh, like even the Mekon's photo, which is pretty high up on the feed. It's like June 9th, is just, the Mekons aren't even in it. It's just like two people with their fists up in the air and someone kind of doing a stage dive with their feet up in the air. And
It's great.
it's very basic and it looks so fun.
Yeah.
Like I do think
I know.
that
It's so hard. It's so hard to talk
process,
about. It's so hard to talk about her without just falling like, hold on, wait, I'm looking at the photos. I'm sure we're looking at the same photos here. But
Wait,
yeah, there's really something about that experience that, that she had with being friends with everybody and putting everybody so at ease to where they're just, looking right in the camera and smiling because they're having fun.
And here's Alicia from May 27th, Miss Murgatroyd. You're one of your past guests.
What?
Alicia.
Alicia J. Rose from in Portland. Yes, Menopause.
Yeah, in Portland.
Yeah.
Who was one of the people that I met first. Who was friends of friends when I lived in Portland in 98, 99. But then also
really
I know when she
small world.
Yeah, which is great, and seeing all those people, and then Eric or Rico from the Mekons. I knew him too from.
I'm looking at this one. There's like a picture of pavement that's all blurry, but it still just looks incredible.
Awesome. I love it.
It's blurry, it's moving, but you're like, yeah, that's great.
Well, and part of those is the editing of like the vibe of her editing is not like the perfect photo that you would see in a book. That it's the way that she edited or chooses her photos.
There's energy in it.
Like
there's
energy.
a
it
person.
makes you want to come back.
But it's like that there's a photo. Like some of them, like when you take pictures of your friends or your kids, it's like they know there's a photo being taken of them, and it's not like oh, okay, you taking my photo, or they just laughed, but it's what I mean. I think there is an acknowledgement of I think like you said, different than Fly on the Wall, where it's like, oh, it's just slice of life. Somebody sipping a coffee cup and not looking. Like a lot of these people are shooting the lens. People are, making a funny face to her, but they must have been having a fun time because that's what, that's what they were doing. And so even if they're looking right at the camera, they're still smirking or they're still mid laugh or something.
Yeah. So cool.
That's
And
it's a special place and time that she was really able to be part of.
Well, and I loved her, how she just talked about being young, where it's like, well, how did you meet these people? Like, well, I worked at a vegan or like a diner with this person, and then I ended up working at a coffee shop or whatever it was with this other person before they were even like who was it? The bass player for Pavement or something like, but before he was even in bands. And then, and then just going through that list, and it really made me think of when I first moved to LA, and you just meet one person at a show, and then like you get a job, and then you meet another person. You're like, oh wait, I know that other. I just met that other person that we saw play, and that when she said New York really can be just a small town, and that I felt like that was so. If you're in your 20s and you're kind of looking around and trying to find your people and trying to do something, but you don't know what to do, a lot of times just being around people will tell you.
Yeah.
That will inform your decision,
Yeah, and that's it's that thing too. Just being young, like we always talk about on the podcast. It always comes down to that thing of like, I don't know, we were just kids. You just showed up places and you saw other people, and they, you had a cool haircut, or you had a shirt, or you looked, or whatever. You just bumped into somebody, and like, oh, cool. Okay, now I'm going to see you for the next 30 years. Like, okay. Yeah.
And there's something about your the future, like you're looking forward to the future. Like every time you talk to someone, you're like, oh, we could be in a band together, or we should start a thing. We should start a zine, or I've had this idea forever. Like, oh, I have a Rezo printer, or like how many conversations like started that way of like having a drink with someone or showing up at a show and just talking to someone like, oh, my buddy owns a gallery, or my friend is showing paintings in their living room tomorrow,
Totally.
Or they're having a vegan pancake breakfast on Sunday and there's bands playing in my friend's front yard.
I'll be there.
Yeah. But
Yeah. It's so funny. Yeah.
Awesome.
Looking at through her Instagram, it really is like a book, it's like she really needs to put these in a large format, sort of coffee table book. Cause it is so fun.
I think so. And I loved all of her
flipping
stories too. Like the stories, I feel like that there's a photo books, but even her other book that she was talking about, the desert book, has to do with a writer, right? There was someone writing about it. I feel like her photos would be amazing with either her writing about them or someone else or other people who are involved, or maybe even the person that's in the photo, or like, because I do feel like that you look at them and you go, oh, what's the story behind this? Like, how did you guys get into a diner? Like they just don't seem set up. So it does seem like there's something about like a setup portrait in a studio. You don't really want to know the story because you're like, oh, they're posing for an album cover or something, which is really cool, which is great.
Right.
But there's something about when you see a very random thing, or like you see Nick Cave from the birthday party just hanging out. You're like, how did that happen? Why are they just sitting in a chair?
Yeah.
Somewhere? That's weirder than like, you can guess why they're in the studio because they're trying to sell a record or pay for something. But you can't ever guess, like when you see those random ones of like, how are you hanging out? Well, it's funny, a friend of a friend knew a guy at the label. And I just love that. You can go through that and go, oh yeah, I can think of 1,000 stories that happened for me, but not even just photography, but like how I met people, like how you and I met, or how anybody met. And you go through those kind of long-winded stories and you go, how crazy is it that for whatever reason we ended up at the same place at the same time, and that started some kind of other story that broke us out, all of us, you and your other friends, everybody's friends, that like you end up at this place.
But again, it's just that power of the photo too. Like these photos are forever. You know what I mean? Like you might just be in this one spot in one place at one time, but a great photo, it's just there. It just keeps it just keeps bringing more questions and more viewers and more eyeballs.
Well, and I felt like when she says, a lot of photographers talk about history, like, well, I'm documenting history. And she was like, I didn't feel like I was documenting history. Although when she said, she's like, but I look back and I go, oh, I wish I would have taken more photos. And we've talked about this before. I feel that same way. I'm like, yeah, I should have probably. Like, there's a lot of times where I'm like, yeah, I should have bit the bullet and just like,
taking photos all the time.
But that there is that point where sometimes you just feel like it could be even a little bit of a crutch. Like you get there and things start being a little awkward and you're like, well, but I have a camera, so I have a job to do. And this is why I'm here. And let's take a couple pictures. And you go like, oh, well, you're the photographer. Well, come hang out because you have a camera and maybe something will happen. And it gives you kind of a,
a little bit of
gives you a little bit of a reason. And just like a reason, you never necessarily want to always be the person that's just hanging out, because eventually you're not really useful anymore unless you're really funny. If you're super funny and can keep the party going, then you're good. But like if you're just hanging out all the time, but like, well, I know all these people.
You don't want to be annoying.
Yeah, because eventually they just don't need that many people hanging out. But if you're taking photos or if you're a writer or whatever, then and you have great stories and you have these things, it just gave you like you'd get the call and like, hey, come to this show. I don't know if anything's going to happen, but they said you could bring a camera. I'm like, awesome.
Okay. Yeah. And you do that for enough years, enough decades. And
and it's great.
Archive.
It's a little security blanket, It's like something you can hold on to when things get awkward. And like, well, I'm just going to look through my camera for a bit, guys. I'll be back. Got to
put a new roll of film in. Always give you something to do with your hands or a reason.
Oh my God. Totally. Let me check my old photos. See my,
if you ever feel awkward, just
okay.
take a photo, just snap a photo and then look at your camera for a while. Like, I don't know.
Hold on.
I'm going to fiddle with this thing. I'm going to touch that thing.
Yeah. Right.
She had a great story too of the butthole surfer staying at her and her roommate's house and didn't take any pictures of them. You know what I mean? She's like, this kind of thing is like the amount of stuff that there are photos of. It's it's just a fraction of a life lived that didn't. Yeah. I'm sure 80% of the stuff never got photographed. but it's, but the 20% you do have, like, okay, well that's enough.
Yeah, totally.
It really it still makes for an incredible archive, especially just, and I think it's the time and place. Obviously I'm a fan of a lot of these bands, and so it is really fun to just see these candid shots of them, especially when they're so young, and knowing
totally
whatever would go on with life. I mean, look at this picture of Husker Du, and it just, you get a picture of the people more so than you do in other photos you've seen all the time, or a press photo. It's under stress, or it's something of them just sitting. Looks like they're after a show, sweaty, just kind of just sitting there. You're like, okay, that's cool. 1983. Totally. I mean, they're just still just kids.
Totally. Well, and it reminded me too of because last weekend Lila and I went to that show in Fullerton.
Oh yeah, how was it? The Program Skate Shop.
It was awesome. Yeah,
super
amazing.
Cool. I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Was it crowded? Did you have to wait in line, or no? You just walked in and it was chill?
No, we didn't have to wait. I mean, we kind of got there early, and we had bought tickets. We had bought tickets early online, and it was like $12, which is great. And easy, then, it's this band called Bug Stomp, and then another band called Citrus Junior. And they're both.
Yeah, you said they were from San Diego.
San Diego area. I know Bug Stomp says San Diego, and I feel like Citrus Junior said Oceanside, maybe, which is down there. And it was awesome. It was in a skate shop. They have shows there all the time. Program Skate Shop.
Mm-hmm.
But then the best,
right? Program with an E.
Yeah, Program, maybe 2 M's and an E. I think Programma E, and it's Program. It's just Program for Instagram, but it's like Program Skate and Sound, I think, is their thing. And then, but the funny thing was that we were waiting around, and they had these little zines, and the zines were like these little fold up printouts that were, had like a description of the bands, and we had gotten one, and then we were waiting outside because it was hot in there, and they were still setting up. And 2 people came over, and they're like, "Hey, did you guys get the zine?" We're like, "Oh yeah, we have it. Did you guys put it on?" And it's like Mouse Productions or something. Mouse.
Oh, okay.
And they were like, "Yeah, we doing these shows," and I said, and they were young-ish, I don't know, early 20s, maybe teenagers, I don't know. And but we started chatting, and Lila's about to go to college in San Diego, and he's like, "Oh man, you got to go to the Che Cafe, and you got to go to this, you got to go to that," and then he's like, "And get involved with your school radio station. Like if you're into music, you got to get involved with the school radio station," and which she already is. She already like signed up and everything. And
so cool.
But they were so psyched, and it was like a boy and a girl, or man and a woman. I don't know how old they were, but and they were both. It was like so cool. It was like such a cool, because even when we walked up, she's like, "Oh man, it's like a lot of emo kids and a lot of everyone looks cool. They got their like piercing, and they're like, they got their veil of hair going over their face, and then." But then, a bunch of other kids show up, and they're like beachy college kids, and then skater kids, and then all these other people. And the whole vibe by the end, she's like, "Wow, it was so cool. Like everybody was so nice." And she had her camera, and there were people in front of her. And then at some point someone was like, "No, just get up front for a bit, take pictures." And
oh, that's awesome. Were you taking photos too?
Yeah, I took some photos. I posted some photos, and they reposted. I'm just
pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. They reposted. No, but it was really fun, and I'm sitting there going like, "Yeah, this is my happy place. This is great. I love it."
Yep.
And especially bringing Lila, and she was taking some photos and video too, and she's kind of sitting back, and I'm like, "Lila, go up there. Like, see this little." There's this like 3 people there, 4 people there. See that little spot right there? Go up there, right next to the guitar player, then point up and go across, like shoot across.
Oh my gosh.
She's like, I don't,
tell her that's the spot to put
like, I don't want to. And I just took her shoulder and pushed her. And I'm like, go. Just go over there. Sit for a while. Get over there. Trust me. Everyone will back up and give you they'll give you a little bit of space. And so she jumped over there and everyone's like, oh yeah, come over here, stand here, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It was awesome. And I'm like, it's just like a skate shop show. It's great. Everybody's here to have fun. There's like, I don't know, maybe there was 40 kids there. It was packed. It was packed all the way to the back. It was great.
Yeah, but that's all it takes.
And the music was great. They call they call it like the heart of Midwest emo or something like that. But they're from San Diego. From
San Diego? Oh.
Their heart is with Midwest emo or something like that. Like they're like, that's what they're going for. So they have like the kind of Midwest emo.
Or who's what was his his band before American Football.
American Football and it's kind of the jangly guitars like do 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 do, but a little like really kind of weird and technical and time changes and a little bit of yelling and then some singing but it's great. It's awesome. And there's a whole scene of it. Like once she was looking up bands, then, the next band, you might like this band. And then it was jangly guitars and had some pre-recorded things and had some, and it's awesome. Super fun.
That's how it goes. That's so rad. And cool. Speaking of kids, we watched Bad News Bears, continuing our Summer of 76 series, where we are checking in on films that came out 50 years ago this year. We've watched some pretty bleak, dystopian, dark, nihilistic, angry young man changes the world's going to hell kind of films. But I feel like Bad News Bears was sort of the shot in the arm of a bleak reality of 76 that still had a heart, but it wasn't too sweet.
Well, I'll be honest with you. As much as I wanted to get through it, I thought I was going to have enough time, and it was only time because I kept trying to do it. Every time I tried to watch it, I had it like downloaded on or not downloaded, but like ready to watch on the plane on the way home. And then the whole internet was out, and I'm like, you got to be kidding! The one time the internet's out on the plane, so I couldn't watch it on the way home. And then we literally got in the car and drove here yesterday, and I was like, all right, cool,
no worries, you're off.
I got it, and then I watched like the first 15 minutes and then the cousins came over and I was like, okay, we got this. And then I watched the next 15 and then the dinner time and then whatever. And then this is like what you were talking about yesterday or earlier. And then I'm like, okay, I got this. I'm going to have some quiet time. I'm going to get ready. And then we get the call like, hey, the cousins are here. And I was like, who? I'm like, oh, well, the other cousins are here with the family and everything. And I'm like, okay, which is great, hanging out. But I'm like, and I'm looking at the clock ticking down, and I'm like, I've gotten through 40 minutes. I'm like halfway there. I'm like halfway there. They're playing baseball. They're doing the thing. I got this. And then I go to, I'm like, I got an hour left. And I'm like, okay, photo time. I'm like, oh.
Oh, no, don't worry about it. Don't ever stress on it.
But then hold on, there's more. So then it was photo time. And I'm like, okay, I still got this. I got it just enough time. It's 45 minutes. I can get this in. And I go to set everything up. I'm like, okay, I'll set up. I'm setting up the computer. And I'm like, where are my headphones?
Oh, no.
I don't have any headphones. And so then I'm like, well, someone's got to have headphones. I'm looking around, no headphones. He's got and so then the last 30 minutes right before the show was running around trying to find a set of headphones. And then one of the cousins were like, well, I have some wireless Beats. I'm like, okay. And then I looked and I'm like, well, I guess I didn't finish Bad News Bears.
I forget by that point, did Jackie Earl Haley join the team?
No, I hadn't gotten there yet.
He hadn't joined on the team. Okay.
He had just before this, he was ripping up the field on his bike, and then he hit the wall. Yeah, hit the wall, and they grabbed him. Oh my God! Let's talk about the
had to be a stunt man, right? Because he had the helmet on. They were going to let the kid do that stunt, but then they ripped his helmet off. Yeah.
Wait, let's just start. Let's talk about the beginning, and then we can finish. Then I'll watch the second half.
We'll continue it for next week,
and then we'll continue it next week. Okay, start it up. Because we decided this because of the bleakness of the other ones. We're like, let's watch this. I remember it being fun, and then I watched some of the previews. We've come down to it.
Last week was Assault on Precinct 13.
Oh my
probably
God.
the lowest budgetist, but not dark, but rough. We're checking in on early John Carpenter. I mean, it's significant because it's John Carpenter. I think if it wasn't him, you would have a harder time sort of placing it on the list of films from 76.
And then Logan's Run before that.
Oh yeah, that kind of broke me. I'll be honest. Logan's Run was like, oh no, I can't do this anymore. This is too bleak, too hard, too weird, too sad.
But then I watched the preview and it was like, oh right, this is the 70s, and it's kind of, there's some race. It deals with race and it deals with all these things, but kind of in a funny way.
Bad News Bears?
Bad News Bears. And I was like, what's this going to be like? And then right as I was doing that, you texted me and you're like, Bad News Bears is great. I loved it. It's awesome. And I was like, oh, good. Okay, good. Yeah. But no, start out.
Oh yeah. So I mean, starting from the beginning, you get Walter Matthau, washed up, drunk pool cleaner.
Oh, man, so perfect.
It felt, I mean, obviously, I was born in 81, and so I grew up with the films of the 80s and 90s. And, and you have things like, the Mighty Ducks, and I think this sort of formula of down on his luck guy coaches a team, no good team, turns them around, heart of gold, and everybody loves everybody and you feel great at the end. This I think was on the early side of that, if not, the predating.
Might have been the first.
I was going to call it The Predator, the predating film, the film that has predated those ones, and I think was influenced, but they really shave off all the edges of, this film has a lot of edges. There's language that is horribly offensive and inappropriate today, and would never be seen in a film, But again, and I was watching it with, a friend who was visiting us from Italy and with my wife. And this guy thinks like, well, our dads said those words, it was not for men of that generation to say those racist, sexist, homophobic words was accurate, but it's not, obviously the culture has moved forward, but the spirit of the film is really, every turn when his heart softens, when he really like steps up for the kids, it's earned. Like, he does not want to be a good guy. This is not somebody that, is just one kid smile away from turning it all around. Like, he's really mean in a really realistic kind of scary way. But I feel like so much of life, again, it was that extra pinch of salt in the sugar of it all, and the realism. But so much of the humor comes from that too, of just me appreciating the inappropriate humor of kids saying words they're not supposed to say. And, he brings a bucket of beers into the dugout, and you're looking at him like, there's like 9 beers there. He's got a cigar. So it's just like, you just got to start running the numbers and like, wow, okay. And he's walking out and like, where are all these kids' parents? I think from today's perspective, it's impossible to really find a world that where this would be a reality in. But I have a feeling that in 1976, this was probably a pretty sweet film.
Well, the joke at the beginning too, I mean, especially with the beers, was he drives up, he parks, and then he just reaches back and opens up the cooler, grabs a beer,
in the back seat,
pours out a quarter of the beer, pours whiskey into the last quarter of the beer, and just takes a sip, and then looks up, goes to light his cigarette or his cigar, and then the kid rolls up on his motorcycle or his BMX bike or motorcycle.
No, it's a motorcycle. It's a Harley
motorcycle. That's right.
AMC Harley Davidson little tiny thing.
And he lights it for him, and he just goes, "Thanks, kid." I loved it. Yeah, but then even when he, like, the funny thing is the movie just starts. What I realize about these old movies, they just start and they end. There's no like build up. There's like, the build up is like, nope, we're going, we're running. The setting, the scene, the place setting, the big camera dolly, or or pan from the top of the city down into the street, and you push in, dolly shot, a helicopter shot with bouncy music. There's something. It breaks
it's just absent of any of that kind of treacly, sweet place setting, conventional sort of things.
Just getting right to the point.
I think were really introduced and really perfected in those 80s and maybe even more so in the 90s sort of films of the slow motion thing through the house, and you see the Christmas ornaments and you go, oh, well, it's a Christmas movie or it's a Christmas time thing. And dun, 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 dun. Little close-ups on all the stuff, a big title sequence, there's no title sequences. It's like, here's the movie. We're in. No. Let's go.
Well, and I thought what was great was that they didn't overdo it. Like they showed the drinking, they showed him being cranky, but he really did feel like when I first got out, I was like, oh, I forgot how much I love Walter Matthau for one thing. And also I was thinking like, well, he was probably like 30 in that movie. Right? Because it's
impossible to tell,
ago,
right? Yeah,
maybe 35.
Let's see.
But since you know him as an older person, I'm like, he just seems
he's
old.
Always been old. Yeah.
He's probably 40. Maybe he's 40.
Let's see. He was born in 1920, so he would have been 56.
Oh my God.
So
he was 56 in the movie? Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
He looks about 56. That's about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
He lived till 2000. He lived till he was 80 years old. He made it to 80.
Oh, he only lived till he was 2000? Or, I mean, till the year 2000?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Never mind. All right. So he was older. But
he looks like shit when his face isn't shaved and he's real run down and looks bad.
Yeah.
He looks bad.
He just seemed like a real person. Like he just kind of showed up and he's like, all right, what's your name?
He wasn't playing a caricature of a drunk, with like a trench coat on and a beer and a booze bottle in a paper bag. Like, it was like,
they didn't have like a big jacket or something like, listen, kids, I'm going to tell you a thing or two. He was just like, all right, buddy, what's your name? And then the kids are crazy. And he just looked, just the idea of him just looking at the kids going, all right, next, and they're like, blah, 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 blah. And it really did make me feel like, oh, this feels like middle school. It doesn't feel that different. Like,
okay. Shut up. Sit
my
down.
Dad said I could play second base. Can you throw? No, I can't throw. Then you're not playing second base. All right, next, what are you? But then when he gets up in the tree and he's having the conversation with the kid about Hank Aaron and like, it's just so many sweet spots that were, I just felt like the greatest thing is that it wasn't overdone. Like they didn't have to be like, now we have to make him a racist too. Now we have to make him like this and this and this. And he's going to have to get over all these things. Like you just see the stuff and he's like kind of lumbering along of like, all right, kid, well, listen, I'm trying to make the best baseball team I can. So here's what I'm going to need from you. And you really do think like, yeah, it's probably kind of how it would go. Maybe like it seems very believable. There was like a believableness to the whole, just like kind of lumbering around, especially as a pool guy. Give it up to
the script, because the script doesn't have those scenes written in there where it's just interminable. It's with too sweet, too dark. It really rides this fine line in the middle. And obviously it comes down to direction and really the characterization that Walter Matthau, I mean, he does so much character work interiorly, in his head. Like they don't spell out when he's changing, but they also do a great thing where it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Like he'll have a change of heart and then he'll slip right back into his ways. And you're kind of like, I kind of fucking hate this guy. I was just getting to like him. And you can see it through the kids. And that's what the kids are feeling. Like your point of view is the kid's point of view of like, oh, I want this to be great. And you're like, I don't know about this guy. You're always kind of like, he's letting us down. He passes out after that. He has that great day with them and they're doing the pool and he's having fun with them and he gets them the uniforms and then he's passed out on the pitcher's mound by the end of it. He's just like,
he goes to
drunk.
And
he's a
falls
crud.
Down.
He's done. And the kids kind of like, he was doing good. And no, he slipped. He went too far.
And the kids aren't even like, they're just like, yeah, okay. Yep. I think he's dead.
Apathy.
Like, nah, he's just drunk.
Yep. Like they've seen it before and they're going to see it again,
Right. Like I thought that a very telling part that it was in the 70s was that they were at practice and they're like, well, we have to have the one kid who has a dad who overdoes it, who sits on the sideline and tries to coach from the sideline. Like there's the one dad sitting in the stands like going, "Come on, Bobby, you need to catch that ball." And I'm like, "Oh my God, have you been to a practice lately?" Like every parent,
Yes.
there's like 30 parents there watching,
and the grandma and the
commenting.
grandpa and the aunt and the uncle and the cousins, everybody comes. Yeah. It's I'm constantly through the whole film going, where are the parents? This is not the coach's job to be doing any of this stuff. But
like, well, we're gonna go to work with our baseball coach to clean pools today, and all the parents are like, "All right, well,
sounds good. Be home before the lights
please.
turn on." Yeah. Don't get murdered. But he does so many great little turns. I mean, even, going out to Tatum O'Neal, because he remembered, but it doesn't tell you how he knew Tatum O'Neal. It's like, I taught a girl how to pitch once. She had the best slider. And you're like, all right, is there anything from that? And then he just pulls up to this girl on the side of the road. And you're like, oh, okay, that's the girl. You have to do the work as, it doesn't tell you what it is. And then he gives the backstory, how he and the mom used to date. And that was the whole thing. And she just is telling him what a terrible person he is. And you're no good. And you can't, It's like, what about this? I took you to all those games. So you would have gone anyway. Like, well, I took you to get your appendix, removed. And she's like, yeah, but when you weren't saving lives, you were drunk on the couch and you were terrible. And he's like, okay. And I think that's a big turn for him, because then he comes back to the kids, and I think you can see him kind of like, I've messed up a lot for a long time, and I can either change or not change. And what does it look like with a little bit of effort? Just the bare minimum of actually giving a shit, of actually caring what would happen, and it starts to avalanche.
And also when there's other people that are relying on you and they're holding you accountable. I think that's like a lot of these movies where they're like, whatever, I hate this team anyway. And the kids are like, you're going to quit on us. You're going to do that, and you have all of these people that I think that this issue does arise with people where they don't feel like they're important. And I think a lot of situations are that simple of a diagnosis. I don't feel important. Now, it's very difficult to figure out how to get someone to feel self-worth and importance and whatever, but that so many things come from people going, I don't feel like I fit in. I don't feel important. No one likes me because I'm not important. No one wants to hear what I have to say, like all those kind of things. So I think that these like, even watching that, I mean, I think why it works in these kind of movies is that, you can make it funny because you can you're like, we have 12 kids and they all have to have a completely different character. It's like the Little Rascals or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone has to have well, that's the kid that never showers. That's the kid that that's 6 feet tall but can't shoot a basketball. That's the kid that you get like it's the characters that you can create are unending, right? But that also that it is that sweet, like, yeah, sure, you have all these little tough characters who can kind of like talk shit and they're on their own and they're these little kids, but also you're looking at them and you're like, yeah, and they're little kids. They still need this adult to step up and give it their all.
Yeah, that power of being an adult. Yeah, no, it really feels like he just has to find that place in him. And I won't spoil it for you, but there's a particular scene at the end where it locks in the way that a Disney movie would have had that tied down either so much earlier or just in that, it would have made such a bigger deal of it. And every little character turn he has, for the better or worse, is just, you see it, but it's not celebrated. There's not a big music swell and slow motion and doves and fire. And it's like, oh, okay, I know what I have to do. And, and you see him make mistakes, and then you see him make the right decisions, and they're just like, okay, it works. And then it's the end of the movie. Then you're out, and you're like, wow, that was a well-made kids movie? ? Was it a kids movie? Was that a movie? It was just a movie, just a story that took place that happened to have kids in it. There's a few ways of looking at it. I think it was a huge success, and it went on to sponsor, after we got done watching it, and I was like, you guys want to see the sequel? And I pulled up the trailer for, Bad News Bears Go to Japan. I was like, oh, actually that was the third sequel, but
well, because there was the Billy Bob Thornton one in 2005.
The remake. Yeah. Richard Linklater later did that one. Yeah. But the original run, they had 3. They had the Bad News Bears, Brad News Bears, Spring Break, or Breaking Training, what do they call it? And then
Spring Training.
Something, yeah. And then the third one they go to Japan. But Walter Matthau doesn't come back for any of them. I don't think.
Okay.
Tony Curtis is in the Japan one, so they still get the older actors from that time. But
well, I mean,
Walter Matthau,
it definitely
he's strong.
He's amazing, and it definitely became, I don't know, not a meme, but like the saying of like, well, they're a little bad news bears. Like like even when we had our soccer team, I was like, we're starting out as the bad news bears, definitely. Yeah.
Yep.
It's like just one of those things that you don't even know where it comes from, but
it came from here.
You know what it means. You know what it means.
But yeah, because they keep saying, that it's like, well, we're playing the Yankees this Saturday, and what does that mean for the Yankees? Bad news. It's bad news for the Athletics because we're playing them and we're going to win. Yeah. I don't know. There's so much heart in it. I feel it made me just appreciate that era of filmmaking and especially to know everything else that came out that year. I'm sure all the audiences and the culture at large were just like, oh, this alcoholic racist coach is actually nice to the kids. We love this. Less murdering people in the streets, please.
More, thinking of computers taking over the world.
Can we just get an alcoholic, racist, retired baseball washed out pool man to hang out with kids?
For
something sweet and nice like that. Yeah.
Yeah. This is just preparing everybody for Star Wars in 2 years.
That's it. Yeah, make way. Children's programming will take over the world.
Lighten it up a little.
Yeah, that's it. Long time ago, galaxy far, far away in Chatsworth. Awesome, man. Okay, well, it's been good. Finish the end, and then maybe you could even record something right after it's done if you want to record a voice memo and send it in.
We could put it up. Okay,
I'll put it.
I'm going to watch the end tonight.
Okay. All right. So. Yeah. Send it to me. I'll wait and I'll pop it in right here after I say thank you everybody for listening. Hyphenate Halftime on Gmail. You can follow Aaron at Aaron Farley Photo, or what do we say?
Just Aaron Farley.
Aaron Farley on the Instagrams. Yep. I'm at Randy S. Randall. More. I got a bunch of interviews lined up for these next couple of weeks, so I'm excited to share them all with you. I think this week coming up we have the one and only Tara Jane O'Neill from Rodin and many, many other cool avant-garde art guitar projects. She was so much fun. This is an interview where I found myself blushing while it was happening. I was like, oh no, I can't. I'm rarely at a loss for words, much to everybody I know's chagrin. But this one, I think TJO did it. She got me to fumble over my words. I couldn't talk a few times in this interview because she was far too nice and busted my balls. So it was good. I'm looking forward to sharing this one. So
cool.
Everybody, be safe. Be good out there. Stay hydrated.
Go to shows.
Go see shows.
Take pictures.
Yeah, that's it.
Take photos. You are the one. You can do it.
Your photo
are the one.
Be the one.
Yes, you're gonna.
We're talking to you.
Change the world.
You're saying no, they're probably not talking to me. No, yes, you the person who wonders if they should take more photos. Yes, you should take more photos.
Yeah. Point to yourself in your chest right now and go, me? And that is who. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And you should go see more live shows and buy more merch from bands, especially the ones that are on tour. Go do it. Support them. They need your support. Bucks. It doesn't work. Doesn't work unless you go. You got to go see the shows. Only
$5 will get them at least 20 miles.
Is that how it works? Hopefully. Yeah, I guess 20 miles a gallon, $5 a gallon. It adds up.
And you figure average, probably a van gets between 15 and 20 miles, maybe 15 miles. So we'll go with $5 for 15 miles. If you're in the South,
$5 will get them half a cup of coffee. You can get a small coffee for $5.
Half a beer. It'll get them half a beer.
It. Yeah. You can spit the beer back in their mouth afterwards for $5.
Amen. Well, you got to do what you got to do.
All right, everybody. Be well. See you next time.